Siraj,
tell me
I am
two
going to
options.
ask you a question now.
No, I don't want to.
Siraj,
Until you answer, I'm not
tell me
moving.
something.
So like David Wood, Muhammad
Hijab,
Hijab.
yeah.
Muhammad
Go for it.
Hijab.
I'll pick you up.
Muhammad
so you can
Hijab,
follow.
yeah?
I can pick you up.
Muhammad Hijab.
Test the claim.
You want to say, and you say what you want to say. Say it at different
do you want to time it?
times.
It doesn't make up.
Do you want to time
It
it?
doesn't add up.
Do you want to time it?
Time for you. If you
My
want
friend, can you time please, if you don't mind?
to. Time for
How long you want?
you. 2 minutes.
Okay. Do you want to go first or second?
2 minutes.
Should I go first or should you want to go first?
Yeah.
You both have
Me?
interesting points.
Okay.
But you lose it if you speak.
Both
No.
of us go.
Yeah.
All right.
Because his logic
My
doesn't
time.
make
Siraj,
sense.
Oh, you
shush.
don't know unless you hear
So,
it. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Again, I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but it's 43:16. I'll check it again later. But essentially, I'll go first. My time's already going. So, Surah 43:16. No, that's fine. Go ahead. Surah 43:16. It says that we, as in Allah, reveal the Quran in Arabic so that you would understand it. Now, hold on a second. I do not speak or read in Arabic. And this is clear evidence to me, as the Quran is revealed and preserved mostly in Arabic, that this religion or the understanding of the Quran that is supposed to be for mankind is only exclusively for the Arabic people and the Arabic speakers. Because if it was not the case, Allah would not have said that He revealed it in Arabic so that they would understand. Today, the world doesn't even speak Arabic. I think Arabic is spoken by like 5% of the world. So barely anybody speaks it. So very clearly to me, if the Quran is meant to be a light and a guidance for all of mankind, where there are 10,000 plus languages, the Quran is not fitting the bill by being revealed in Arabic. Now, when it comes to the gospel accounts, this was transcribed at a moment in time when Judea was a Roman province. And in that time, the Romans wrote administrative documents in Greek. So they would also write in Greek. Now, there's nowhere in the Bible where Christ says, I revealed this to you in Greek so you may understand. And even in the first century, you had gospel texts that were in Amharic in Ethiopia, that were in Coptic Egyptian, that were, I think, by the 3rd century, you had text in I think Armenia, where they had to write an entire language just to translate the Bible. The Bible has never been something, at least in the Christian context, that has only been in one language. It is a message for all people. All people speak many languages, so from the very onset, we understood that we should always have these in many languages. But in the Quranic basis, there is a strong emphasis on only having it in Arabiya because that is how Allah intended it to be. So it's not for me, it's for the Arabs only. I'm good.
2 minutes up.
Go for it.
His logic, the verse where Allah said we reveal Quran in Arabic language so you may understand. Does that verse talks about whether Prophet Muhammad was only sent to Arabs? It's talking about in what language did Allah reveal the Quran. It's not talking about whether Prophet Muhammad was sent to only Arabs or to all nations. If you want that, you may understand. Quran, Allah said in chapter 7, verse 157. Also in chapter 34, Allah said what? In chapter 34, verse 28, in Sahih Bukhari, Prophet said what? Hadith number, Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 335. All these verses and the hadith tells us, Prophet ﷺ, Allah said, we have sent you to all mankind. This is clear. He's going to verses which are ambiguous, or whatever you call it. So now, his logic doesn't work.
Well. So 12.
Quran was translated into different languages, same as the Bible, according to Islam. Even in the Bible, Jesus and his disciples were not from Greece. They never used to speak Greek. So this tells us unknown authors wrote the Bible, and I will prove that the unknown authors from the Bible and unknown authors and the Bible was not inspired by God. And Matthew, and I will explain to them, some of their disciples are not even the disciples of Jesus. Example, Mark. If we say, according to his logic, the Bible was written in Greek, and he believes the Greek Bible is for all nations. But Arabic, the Quran was written in Arabic, therefore the Quran cannot be for all nations. According to his logic, also the Bible is not for all nations. Why? Because it was written in Greek only. Why did they never write down other languages? If it's for others as well.
Enough. Thank you. People, it makes me sad when I talk to Siraj. I say all the things that he should address and he doesn't do it. But that's fine, we can keep going. Ultimately, the Quran, and let me correct myself, sorry, it's Surah 12:2 or Surah 43:3. It says distinctly that it was revealed in Arabic so that we would understand. 5% of the world speak Arabic, so the Quran isn't for me. He quoted two hadith that says it was revealed for mankind. Well, in Surah 3 verse 4, it says the same thing about the Injil and the Torah. So I guess all the books are for everybody. But the Quran in particular is revealed in Arabic for the Arabs. I am not Arab, so can't follow it. When it goes back again, Siraj is trying to change the topic a little bit, but that's fine. I'll steer him back in. When it goes to the gospel writers, yes, we do know who they are. Yes, we do have their profiles. What you should be worried about is who wrote the Quran. Because it was a committee of people, but we don't know every single person involved, the number, which ayah they wrote, and which ayah they confirmed. That is what we don't know. That is why the Quran, at its heart, is a work that is anonymous. We have no idea who wrote it, who was there at the time. We have no idea what they contributed, because don't forget, everybody who was there during the retention of Uthman, who was transcribing it in the Quraysh dialect, not all of them were Hafiz. Only some were. So that would, and also the hadith that say that some of the verses and parts of the Quran were only known to specific people. Therefore, in the Quran, we have no idea, for example, who wrote Surah 2, verse 186, or who wrote Surah 12, verse 1. Siraj can't tell me who wrote that a particular ayah. You can't tell me that they all agreed on it. So that is why, when it comes to the Bible, from day one, it was always, particularly in New Testament, all the letters were transcribed to other languages so that they could speak them. We have the example of people giving of tongues in the book of Acts, where they can speak all the languages by the power of the Holy Spirit. So from day one, it's always been in many other languages. Go for it.
Now again he lied. He said, we do not know who wrote the Quran, yeah?
We don't.
I'm exposing him.
Expose me.
Zayd bin Thabit.
Okay.
You can go search up Sahih Bukhari hadith number from 8986 all the way to 90.
Okay.
It tells you how who wrote the Quran at the Prophet's time.
Okay.
And the companions all agreed about the Quran.
Okay.
They memorized it and they used to write it down. The Quran was preserved by writing and by memorizing. But the Bible, guess what? It was written 70 years later or 56 years later. They remembered everything. That's why they have what? Lies. Mark and Luke are not one of the disciples of Jesus. Who are they? Anonymous. The Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 13 to 16. Paul said all the scriptures are inspired by God. He's a liar. If all the scriptures are inspired by God, Paul himself said what? I have no command from God, but I give my own opinion. If you give your own opinion, that's not from God. The Gospel, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 6, chapter 7, verse 12, chapter 7, verse 25, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 17, he said, I speak as a fool. I have no command from God, but I give my own opinion. So now I'm asking, tell me any eyewitness who saw the disciples of Jesus when they were writing down. Who did they give it? The Gospels. Unknown. The Bible, even I said some verses are missing from the Bible. Some versions do not have some verses, but King James Version, he's got some verses, whereas other versions do not have. Why is that? Which one is inspired by God? Why this one is missing, but the other one is not missing those verses? Tell me.